What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. Today, we're going to feature another fine product from Kubey Knives. What we've got here is the new Kubey KU232 Ti for titanium. This is a titanium frame lock flipper, guys. And is going to be another one of those knives from Kubey, much like the carbon fiber Eris, that is just batting so far out of its own league that it's worth buying just to get it, guys, just to see what the market can push to us at a stunningly low price. These knives are priced at $69.99 on eBay, and that is where you can buy these Kubey knives. And what you want to look for is Knife Horde LLC. I want to thank Andy at Knife Horde LLC. That is who has been my contact and my hookup for these Kubey products. I've been extremely happy with what I've seen out of Kubey. Probably about 6 different knives right now, and those are ranging all the way from around $20 up to about $100, guys, and they've all been excellent knives. So thank you to Andy. And that is sort of a disclaimer, guys. This knife was supplied to me, and yes, this is going to be a very positive review, but you're going to see the knife right here in front of you, guys. You're going to see what I'm saying is absolutely true. I'm not really pushing any BS at you because I got a free knife. We do not do that here at Baz on Blades because we're not in it for the money, guys. We're never in it for the money. And I don't keep most of these knives. I use them in giveaways. And that's just the way it is here at Baz on Blades. Now, the Kubey KU232 Ti is an all titanium frame lock flipper. You do get a titanium milled pocket clip, titanium milled backspacer, D2 tool steel for your blades. Guys, everything about this knife is better than the price. I'm sorry, guys. Everything about this knife is better than the price. Let's pull in some packaging quickly here. What we've got is the Kubey box, and I'm going to tell you what, guys, I don't know how much they're paying for these boxes. This is the stiffest, strongest box of its type I've ever seen. It's damn near impossible to open it without tearing the thing up. Good Lord, this is a high quality piece of cardboard right here. And there is your label, and I have no idea what this font, what the printer system or anything that they're using. It is the worst. That's got to be changed right there. That label is pretty much useless, guys. But you do get the box. Inside the box, you are going to get the Kubey zip-up pouch. It's a camo clamshell zip-up pouch. It is one of the types that has the dual opposing pockets on the inside. Nylon pockets with sort of a faux fur back in there. Inside, you'll find the knife sealed. You have to cut it open in a plastic baggie, your Kubey card, and your Kubey branded microfiber cloth. Again, guys, $69.99 for this knife, and you get the pouch on top of a great knife, guys. Now, this knife is a full-size EDC type of knife, and it is going to compete with your paramilitary 2s, which we have prints right here. So there you go in your size department, guys. I think they're pretty much exact same size. So for your size reference, what we've got here is a 3.5 inch blade that's 9 centimeters. Your blade stock thickness, 137 thousandths of an inch or 3.5 millimeters. Your blade width, 1.05 inches or 26.7 millimeters. Your handle length, 4 3/4 of an inch or 12 centimeters. Handle thickness, 475 thousandths of an inch or 12 millimeters. Handle width at the widest point, 1.25 inches or 31.9 millimeters. Your closed width, pretty doggone narrow, guys. We had to include the flipper tab here to get to 1.5 inches, and that's about 38 millimeters. Overall length, 8¼ inches or 21 centimeters. Your stop pin diameter, 118 thousandths of an inch, and that's 3 millimeters. Behind the edge, 22 thousandths of an inch, and that is 0.55 millimeters. Your handle to blade ratio, 0.73, and your weight, 4.97 ounces or 141 grams. All right, guys. Yeah, it is pretty much the same exact specs as a paramilitary 2, including the 22 thousandths behind the edge thickness, because that's typically what a paramilitary 2 is ground to. So we're good to go there. That blade is in D2, which is an old school tool steel, guys. It is a good steel for a knife at this price point. A lot of people hate on D2. They're tired of D2. But D2 is D2, guys. It doesn't matter if you like it or don't like it, or you're tired of it or whatever. It's just D2. And at that price point, it's a good performing steel. It is not fully stainless. It is semi-stainless. It misses the stainless designator by about 1.5% of chromium. You got high carbon, high vanadium content. It tends to be a very toothy and aggressive cutter. You're going to typically see it rock weld between 59 and 62. What you get there is a steel that will take a very toothy razor edge. It will not hold that razor edge forever, but the working edge that comes next, it will hold a long time. That is the forte of D2 tool steel. It has decent impact resistance or toughness, although I do not like to see it ground too thin or used in a knife I'm going to be doing any chopping with, something like that. And again, your corrosion resistance, it is not carbon steel. It's not going to rust if you look at it. But you do have to take some care because it is not quite stainless. I use Tough Glide on mine. You can use some mineral oil, whatever, guys. Just wipe it on, wipe it off, and you should be good to go. And there you go in the blade and the handle. Again, titanium slabs for your handle scales, titanium for your milled backspacer here, and titanium for your milled pocket clip. Stainless small parts, guys. I do want you to notice not only the pivot but the body screws are deeply and finely socketed T8 hardware, guys. So T8 for all the body screws. The only T6 you've got are, again, some well-made T6 dome head screws here on the pocket clip. And the insert for the lock face insert here, the hardened steel lock face insert for your blade to lock bar contact. Now, guys, this knife is built on Kubey's ceramic bearing pivot. It does have a ceramic detent ball. And guys, it is, I'm going to tell you something right now. This knife reminds me of a knife that I had once before from a very popular company, and the company that most people say is about the highest end Chinese knife you can buy, and that is Riate. The first Riate knife that I ever owned was the original, the District 9 Tanto. It was made exactly like this, guys. It was a titanium frame lock, flipper folder, titanium pocket clip and backspacer, and I can't remember, but I think they were in S35V. At a higher price point, guys. But the same exact build and everything. These knives feel so much alike. The action, the way that the knife feels in the hand, this sort of slabs type of build. Guys, this is a very well designed and realized and executed knife for the price, for $69.99 for a titanium frame lock, guys, with a bearing pivot, a hardened lock face insert, a titanium secondary parts, T8 hardware. I have disassembled this knife basically just for shits and giggles, guys, and it looks just as good on the inside. Let's go on to fit and finish and go ahead and cover fit and finish, guys. The one thing I do not like about the fit and finish on this knife is that they went with a bead blast finish on the D2 blade steel, and bead blast is about the worst type of finish you can give D2. What bead blast does is it leaves a porous type of surface texture that will trap moisture. Now, you can't see it, guys, but trust me, the more porous and coarse your surface texture is on steel, the more moisture it will hold on the blade, and it will compound any rust issues. Now, D2 being semi-stainless is still fairly easy to take care of, but this is the worst type of finish for D2. We need to go beyond this and go to a stone wash finish. It doesn't matter if you got to add a secondary finishing on your blades, you have to raise the price to accommodate that. It's not going to be that bad because this stuff gets tumbled, in bulk, guys. It's not that big of a deal, but you would have to add the process in. If you had to raise the price $5, it would still be just a great bargain. Other than that, the fit and finish of the blade, the grinds are they're like CNC perfect, guys. It's a fairly basic grind. It is a flat grind, guys. You do have this sweeping radiused plunge here. You've got a secondary grind here and a swedge. It does come out to a nice pointy tip that does instantly pierce. The secondary bevel is even on both sides. You can already see right here there is just the slightest bit of flaring here at the termination end of the secondary grind, and that is because the sharpening choil does not fully come back out past the plunge grind here, guys. It needs to come out another couple of millimeters to fully clear that. So be aware of that. Now, we're going to go, let's see, you do have some jimping right here. Unfortunately, although it is a good cut, they have rounded the tops of it just a little too much, guys, and it's not quite deep enough to accommodate that. Once you round off the top of your jimping, it needs to be cut deeply enough to where you can push your flesh down in it, trap it. But this is, it's a little smooth, guys. Now, it's not ultimately smooth. It does give a little bit, and no harder than I use folding knives, guys. It's perfectly adequate, but if you like more aggressive jimping, keep that in mind. Kubey laser etching right here. D2 right here, so no big billboarding. Blade's good to go, guys, except for that bead blast finish. Let's go stone wash. Let's just go with a fine stone wash on this, guys. That's a perfect finish for D2. All right, you get into your titanium handle, and this is what they're calling a distressed type of finish, this anodizing. You can see down in the millwork here, that is the original color of the anodizing, I'm sure. And then they've done sort of a tumbled stone washed finish to distress the anodization elsewhere on the handle here. It's a very good looking finish, and this knife is available in multiple finishes. You've got the blue, there is a purple, let's see, there is two different plain titanium finishes. There's a brighter type of finish, and then there's the darker acid etch type of finish. So there's multiple different colors to choose from, guys. Again, you're in a $69 knife, guys. $69. I'm going to keep reminding you of that because these companies just keep amazing me. All titanium milled parts, great hardware. The fit and finish on this thing, guys, look at that handle. Look at the inside edge of the handle. Beautifully chamfered all the way around the inside edge, the perimeter. Everything is just smoothly done. There's no sharp edges anywhere, guys. Everything is just beautifully machined, beautifully finished, beautifully fitted, guys. This knife disassembled and reassembled so easily that a 3-year-old child that had a blindfold on could have taken this knife apart and put it back together perfectly centered. In fact, when I took it apart and put it back together, I took the top half of the knife and I built it from the bottom up. So when I put the top scale on, it was complete. I pressed it down to get ready to seat everything together so I could get my screws in. When I looked at it, guys, all I did was press it back together. It went perfectly back to center. Everything just is. I didn't have any screws in it, guys. I put the screws in it. It just stayed at center. This knife is straight, guys. It is straight, it is flat, and it is good to go as far as centering goes. The action is bearing smooth, guys. The detent is on the stout side and very crisply finished. The geometry between the flipper tab, which is straight up above the center point of your pivot, makes for a hybrid type of action that is a push and radial, break around the pivot type of system. And that's something I think that I need to do a video on, guys. I don't know if I'm the only person that uses that system or not, and I'll explain that later. But it's very crisp, very well done on the stouter end of a detent strength, and it's just a joy to flip, guys. It's a joy to flip, and it's a joy to close. So action is good to go all around, guys. And there's no lock play at all. There's no lock play at all. It's an extremely solid feeling knife. Guys, this knife, if I was blindfolded and you gave me this knife right next to some of the early Riate knives, it would have been hard to tell them apart. They had typically a little more refined final finishes, but as far as the build quality, guys, this is straight up good to go. I mean, good to go. Easy to disassemble and put back together, and still good to go. I just love to see that. That means everything is precisely machined, precisely placed. Everything is finished flat, guys. It's just very well made, very well made. And the action, good to go, guys. $69. $69, guys, on Amazon. That is crazy. Now, Bazon Blades, you can't say just good about this knife, and I'm not, guys. I'm not going to say just good. Just like I've already pointed out, we need to go to a more refined surface finish for these D2 blades. They really do need to go on another step to a finer surface finish. Something else is the weight, guys. 4.97 ounces or 141 grams. Let's call it 5 ounces, guys. That is not, when you pick it up, you don't think, ooh, that's heavy. You instantly think, oh, that's solid. So it's not super heavy for what it is, but it could easily be a lot lighter with a little bit of milling on the inside, of which there is none. They are completely flat slabs on the inside of this knife. Some pocket milling on that would bring down that weight a little bit, and it would make it a little more market friendly, because everybody wants their knives to be so light, because apparently they can't get to the gym, and when they start dealing with knives over 5 ounces, it's hard to pick them up. Apparently they put them in their pockets, and the guys, they can't hardly pull them out of their pockets. They're so weak, and I can't blame them. 5 ounces, that's crazy. We're not superheroes. 5 ounces, come on. All right, seriously, guys, to me it's not super heavy. To some people it will be. Keep that in mind. Let's see, what else could we do to improve this knife? Guys, I like this knife. I like the finishes on it. I like the design. I like the build quality. Two things to refine on the knife. That's the blade finish, and maybe lighten it up a little bit with some pocket milling on the inside of those handle scales. And this knife is It's going to be recommended, guys. It's going to be recommended. Again, the budget arena is pushing boundaries so hard, guys. I mean, regardless of whether you personally like D2 or not, it's a good steal at this price point. And this type of build, guys, this type of materials, I don't know, guys, $69. I've seen these on the Kubey Instagram page, you know, all the different colors. Check that out. Yeah, it just seems like a good to go knife, guys. No issues there. So let's set that down right there. And Kubey knives, guys. Now I've reviewed a few knives from Kubey now. They've sent me a few knives, and I've been very pleased with their product. Now, I don't like all their designs. They do tend to go a little bit, for me, on the radical side of designs, but I've not yet seen anything from them that was not built well. And like I said, I've covered everything from $20 knives up to $100 knives from them in solid carbon fibers and solid titaniums. These flipper folders with bearing pivots, they really know how to dial in a D10 in action on a flipper. They really are paying very close attention to fit and finish. And I think with only a slight refinement in blade steel finish, final finish, surface finish, and maybe some lightening on some of the models, they're total winners, guys. They're total winners, and you're not really going to beat them at that price point from what I've seen. This knife feels so much. It sounds, the detent sounds like the detent that was on my Riate District 9. And the action, guys, it's just sharp and crisp and just so well dialed in, guys. Yeah, it's very well done. So, I'm going to recommend it, guys. Going to recommend it. Get it in whatever color. Like I say, there's the blue, there's a purple. There's two different finishes of the regular titanium, the bright tie and what they call the gray, the more dark acid washed finishes. Let's see what I did I not cover here. What did I not cover? You know what? I'll put a link for this knife in the description section. Again, I don't have any hookup with Amazon or anybody, guys. You go through a link. For me, I'm not making a damn dime off of it and don't care. I just went and grabbed the link for you guys to make it a little easier for you to find it. Because the easier it is to spend money, the more money we spend, right? So, guys, I appreciate you, as always, taking the time to watch one of my videos. The Kubey KU232 Ti is good to go, guys, especially $69. It's good to go. It's good to go. It's an excellent made flipper folder, guys. All right. God bless all of you. We will talk to you again.